obviously you've achieved some great things with the work that you've done and some of the examples you've shown, but how is it being perceived in the actual marketplace, the value of bringing that brand in a unique way, in an environment, the built environment, from a client's perspective? Does it take a lot of convincing?
Anyone want to tackle that one? Katie? We have a couple mics here, so here's one.
I would say that the answer to that is all over the map. And I probably have a slightly different challenge. Our brand group at RTKL has always resided in an architecture firm. So when clients come to us, they expect architecture, and things above and beyond that are a bit of a surprise. They kind of know about signs. They've been around that for a while. But brand is something they either don't know about, and we put it on the table and they're maybe interested. Sometimes they're aware of that service and they come to us only for it. But I would say, just in my personal experience, being a brand group within an architecture firm is, it's a tough road. It's, I think, easier to be autonomous. So I'd love to hear what you guys have to say.
Well, you know, in the project that I showed, you know, the value is really in the results. You know, and these with you know, from a recruiting standpoint, the kids that they're trying to attract are going to the top schools in the country, you know, like Oregon and Alabama, Ohio State, and Texas, and so the proof is really in the results. In the first year that this project was open, A&M was #2 in the country in recruiting, and so that was pretty good results, you know, for what we ultimately tried to achieve. But it's not always that quantifiable. I would say that most of our clients are becoming increasingly savvy with brand positioning, brand strategy, and so it's something that I've seen at least evolve considerably in the last 10 years.
Yeah, I'd concur with that. I mean, we work in a slightly less mature market in the UK and Europe with regards to brand activation and sponsorship and engaging with brands. But we tend to come across two types of clients. One who understands the value of what it does to their brand and how it can improve their positioning. And then there are others where we have to go the extra mile to explain the possibilities, inspire them into new ways of looking at their brand, and ideally sort of extending their expectations of their own brand. I mean, we recently did something with Audi and showed how they could engage with customers in a football ground that they hadn't thought of at that point. The sort of $50 million question is, what's the return on investment on that? And that is always difficult. It's quite easy to quantify a billboard on a highway and say this will bring you X amount of return or this X amount of eyes. But when it comes to a new experience, which is essentially what we're looking at, it's a little bit more difficult. But the market in the UK and Europe is getting better. And some of our experiences with the O2 Arena in London, which we worked on, is helping us, because that was one of those projects that started off as a white elephant arena that now is one of the sort of the jewels in the crown of AEG around the world for their entertainment company. I hope that kind of answers it.
I think we had a question over here, David.
Yeah, with regard to the Texas A&M Stadium project, are you guys going to try to take that concept and that design plan to other universities to kind of raise them to that same level?
Yes, you know, and it's not necessarily our ability to take it. It's our clients, you know, coming to us, and you know, it's incredible to see the way in which the bar just keeps rising higher and higher and higher. You know, from what the training experience was 10 years ago to where it is today, I would say kind of one of the groundbreaking projects was like what Oregon did a few years ago in connection with Nike. But all across the board, I mentioned this earlier, there is so much capital that's being flushed into these universities because of the broadcasting rights, that they have more money than they've ever had before, and donations are higher than they've ever been before, and the importance around recruiting has never been higher. And so you're just going to continue to see these types of projects continue to surface. And I think we play an important role in that, but really it's the aspirations of our clients and where they want to go.
We'll take one more question here.
Thanks. With the use of technology and digital, do you find yourselves kind of challenged between what works and what's just a gimmick?
Definitely. Again, in the UK, our particular experience is that there's a desire within the football industry to engage with fans in a whole range of different ways. And using digital is one of those, but we have to be mindful of the overall experience, what people do and how they behave at football matches, that it can come across as gimmicky and as a consequence not get used. So finding the balance between an authentic experience and digital engagement is key to the work that we're doing anyway.
Did anyone have any last thoughts? Well, I want to thank all three of you for your contributions this morning. I think it's a kind of great introduction into some of the further dialogues we'll be having today. And I'd encourage all of you to connect with everyone. We have some breaks staggered throughout the day, but thank you all again. Pleasure.
Thank you.